I'm Pam Pollard from Oklahoma City. The core issues in my case, first of all, it's always pro-life. Everyone has an issue, and that's mine. I'm pro-life. I'm pro-Christian, pro-Bible.
Beat Obama and Osama. Talk about that button.
It's not meant to be anything about the Muslim, because I don't think that Muslims are terrorists. I think that there are a few terrorists that are Muslim. It's more about the war and about defending. It's about defense. It's not about war. We hate war. I despise war. I had a family member killed in war. It's about defense. And I just don't agree with his policies on the defense of our nation. That's what it's about to me.
The big buzz on the floor here in St. Paul is all about Sarah Palin.
Yeah, outstanding choice. I mean, I'm thrilled to have a woman on this ticket.
She's made some tough decisions and never quivered about them. She went forward. And I think we're all going to learn a little more about her every time she speaks.
She hit the ground running and didn't just sit there. I mean, she literally made some major reforms in Alaska's government. She's been a commander-in-chief of their National Guard, and I think she's going to be our first female vice president.
What does your sign say there?
Love Sarah.
Did you make that yourself?
I did.
And what's the message you're sending there? Are you asking her for a date?
No, not at all. I just want everybody to know that I think she's the best thing to happen to the Republican Party in years.
People ask me, are we ready for a lady? And I said, well, England had Elizabeth I, it had Catherine the Great, and in Russia many years ago, and it wasn't popular. Why not?
While there is great excitement over Palin's selection, particularly from evangelical Christians, there are few more pumped than the Alaska delegation.
We only have 3 electoral votes. We've got one of the smaller delegations here, but we seem to have a lot of new best friends at this convention.
Chris Nelson is the president of the Alaska delegation. He arrived on the floor of the Excel Center wearing a hard hat and a yellow construction vest, promoting drilling at Anwar. Have you been stopped on the street by like a construction crew and they said, hey buddy, you're late for your shift?
No, not yet, not yet. They keep us on the buses and we're going on pretty well, but somebody did ask us to direct traffic, so that's... We're saying drill here, drill now, and on the back it says pay less.
Well, you want to drill inside of the convention center?
Listen, we got to start someplace, but we'd rather you drill in Alaska. That's...
How do you feel about Sarah Palin? I bet I could guess.
We just are absolutely ecstatic. You guys are going to discover about it what we have. She's a straight shooter. She's enthusiastic. She's smart. She gets the job done. She's a great choice.
As we tapped other Republicans for their views on Sarah Palin, one thing was clear. They were circling the wagons to protect her from the media fallout over the revelation that her 17-year-old daughter is pregnant, a fact that seems to fly in the face of the family values preached by evangelicals. Some observers were even speculating it could have knocked her off the Republican ticket. On the floor, though, evangelicals spun it a different way. And the feminist issue, yeah.
I think, once again, to continue on what we said about fate, you never know when fate is going to play into your hands. Some people say it's the Almighty God that creates these things, but in this case now, this issue about her teenage daughter becoming pregnant is once again a way, to me, to bring this issue to the limelight. When is the last time this has been discussed at the dinner table?
We met many Republican women who were very enthusiastic about Palin, so much so that they credit her with bringing them back into the game for the general election after being less than ecstatic about John McCain.
Kendall Unruh from Castle Rock, Colorado. What am I doing here?
Are you a delegate? Are you here?
I'm a delegate, but I also served on the platform committee.
What does your button say?
Let's see. Maniacal, foaming at the mouth, feverishly fervent, Palin nuts. He needed to go after the Reagan Democrats. He got that with Palin. He needed to go after the evangelical conservative base, which was very disenfranchised, that was very mistrustful of McCain, and which I am a participant in that. We have
You're saying you were mistrustful of McCain?
We were. I mean, evangelicals were. I mean, and a lot of my friends were actually wondering whether to sit this one out. If they voted, they were going to be voting against Obama versus for McCain. And what this election has done is it has infused oxygen into their bloodstream, because they are calling saying, I am so ecstatic, I am so giddy. And not only are they now not having to worry about actually casting a vote or driving themselves to the polls, but they're going to work. I mean, people that have never been involved, that I've ever known to be involved, are calling saying, I'm going to go out and work for him, I'm going to contribute to him. And they're going to walk on shattered glass to see this ticket elected, and it's really the trump card that he needed.
Had McCain chosen someone other than Palin, you think, or any of the other people, rather, you're saying Romney or Huckabee?
You wouldn't have gotten this buzz.
One unusual observation this delegate offered was that she believes the fact that Palin has a child with Down syndrome could work to the Republicans' advantage.
Sarah Palin's pick is also going to reach into a disabilities group that we have never actually actively as a party reached into, and as a mother of a child with disabilities, that is an entire an entire base group that actually, I believe just by default, the Democrats have always been able to make inroads into that the Republicans have not. And so that opens up that entire window of opportunity to be able to get into that community and truly start to reach out and organize. In fact, I was just talking to a gentleman today that organizes within that community, and we're all excited. I mean, to make the decision and the choice to go through with a pregnancy when you know that there is a severe handicap with that pregnancy speaks more to her character than, in my opinion, even being governor of a state does.
Joe Scarborough from MSNBC said he thought McCain's selection of Palin was a political gamble, but one that could well pay off with the base of the Republican Party.
I will tell you, I've been shocked by the number of people in the Republican Party that have come up to me and grabbed me in airports and at convention halls and in wherever, restaurants, thrilled about this choice. They love her. And I think they love her because the conservative movement basically died over the past 8 years. All the things Republicans and conservatives promised to do, like balance the budget, be fiscally responsible, reform Washington, not engage in military adventurism, they broke all their promises. And so everybody was sort of tarred and feathered with that. And here you have somebody out of Alaska that nobody knows, but you look and say, okay, well, I think conservatives were looking for a star for the future, and right now they think they found one.
Howard Wolfson dismissed the idea suggested by some pundits that Palin would attract Hillary Clinton supporters simply because she's a woman.
Look, the overwhelming number of Senator Clinton supporters who are pro-choice and pro-gun control are not going to vote for John McCain or Sarah Palin. There may be some around the margins who'll give it a second look. We'll have to see.